Queen Elise went to the temple to pray. She felt that she was losing hope, and her strength was failing her as well. She readed to know what she should do and how our son and Lucas were doing. She got down on her knees and prayed, "Guardians, I come before you, and I ask that you be lenient with this kingdom. The pain and anguish is more than we can bear. I have tried to do my best, but it feels like my best isn't good enough. Please, guardians, help me," she prayed. There was a smoke coming into the temple, and it covered the place, and a voice spoke in the midst of the smoke. "Fear not, your majesty. Soon the storm will be over." "How long am I going to wait until this storm is over?" she asked with tears in her eyes. "As long as it's going to take." The voice spoke. "Be not weary and do not faint, for this is only for a while." The hole disappeared and everywhere became clear. The queen thanked the guardians for listening to her prayers, and she got up with her strength renewed. She was surprised to see Xenia standing in front of the temple. "What are you doing here?" she asked. "I feel the need to pray for the safety of the prince and Lucas." The queen gave her a strange look that made Xenia smile. "Is this about my son or about Lucas?" Xenia was speechless. The queen already got an answer. "Fine, I will leave you to it then." Xenia bowed her head and watched the queen leave with her guards before entering the temple. She got down on her knees and prayed, "Dear guardians, if you can hear me, please give ears to my prayers and make the prince and Lucas successful in this journey. Keep them safe from harm and let them arrive with her. I wish to know how Lucas is doing. Please keep him safe for me." After praying, she got up and left the temple, but on her way to the palace, she met Prince Zod, who seems to be waiting for her. She tried to ignore his presence, but before she could leave without him noticing, he caught sight of her. "Leaving without me?" he asked, but Xenia was silent. "Why didn't you invite me to come to the temple with you? And why did you leave the palace without any guards?" Xenia was confused. "Is he worried about my well-being right now?" she asked herself. "I am fine, your highness. You need not worry about a mere maiden." Prince Zod moved closer to her and looked at her. He was about to touch her when he restrained himself. "I don't know, but I have come to respect you," he told her. "My respect isn't something I give to anyone, not to speak of a maiden, but—" He paused and stroked her face. "I find myself falling deeper in love with you. May the guardians forbid that a prince would fall in love with me." Xenia rejected, which made the prince scoff. "Why would the guardians forbid it? I am a prince and I can choose whosoever I want. Do you dare defy me?" Xenia shook her head. "But I cannot accept your feelings, your highness, because your heart belongs to another." Xenia's silence gave her away. "That is why I won't stop until I have you." Prince Zod didn't say more, and he left. "Lucas, I don't know how much I can't wait any longer," she said within herself. Prince Edward and Lucas were on their way to get some things from the market when they saw Ken's move. "She is the only one. I think now is the right time to ask her," Lucas told the prince. They walked up to the woman. "What may I get you?" the woman asked without looking up at them. "How about you give us some answers and we will give you a huge amount of money," Lucas said. This made the woman look up at them, and she was shocked when she saw them. "I have no idea what you are talking about." Prince Edward dropped some dollars of money on her table and said, "All these can be yours if you cooperate with us and give us the information we need." The woman was about to take the money when Lucas used his hand to cover the money. "Will you tell us what we need to know?" The woman thought about it. "What's the use of the amulet when money is involved?" She cleared her throat and spilled out the beans. "My son didn't sell the amulet. It was with him, but when came in contact with it and tried to open it, it attacked me. That was the last thing Elle could remember, and when I retained myself, my son told me that some group of people saved my life." Lucas and Prince Edward looked at each other. "Do these people have a name?" Prince Edward asked. The woman tried to remember their names, but she couldn't, so she shook her head. "Do these people happen to have a Phoebe in their names?" Lucas asked. "Phoebe?" the woman asked, and when she thought about it, she felt she has heard that name before. "So you are saying that Phoebe saved you?" Lucas asked when they heard a voice behind them. The woman quickly took the money and hid it inside her bag. "What are you doing here?" They turned and saw Ken approaching them. "We were about leaving." Prince Edward and Lucas took their leave while Ken went to meet his mother. "How many times have warned you hot to talk to them?" "I didn't talk to them. They were the one talking to me." She lied. "What did they say?" "They asked about the amulet, but I told them Elle knew nothing about it." Ken looked at his mother, trying to detect if she was lying, but his mother was a good pretender, even if she was. He will never find out. "Let it be the way you have said it," Ken said before starting his day at work. Lucas and the prince couldn't believe that the girl they were looking for was right under their noses. "I can't believe Phoebe is the girl we've been looking for," Lucas said, still expressing his shock. "I knew there was something different about her. Elle just didn't think it was this," the prince said. "We have found her. What next?" Lucas asked. "The only thing left for us to do is to win her trust." "I don't think that will be an easy thing to do." "I never said it was going to be easy, but for a girl like her, we need to get her to trust us." "If she doesn't," Prince Edward shook his head, "that's the only plan have right now. Hope this works." Phoebe decided to talk to Claudia about letting her have the amulet for the night, but she wasn't sure how Claudia would react to it. She took a deep breath before knocking on her door. "Come in," her tiny voice answered. Then she opened the door. Claudia looked up to see Phoebe with a sad expression on her face. She stopped the sweater she was knitting so she could focus on her. "Come here, come here." She gestured for her to sit on her laps, which Phoebe did. "What's with the long face?" "I had a weird dream this morning." "Really?" Claudia asked. She wondered what kind of dream that would be for Phoebe to be this sad. "Do you mind telling me what kind of dream?" Phoebe looked at Claudia as she wondered if Claudia would believe him. Claudia saw the look on her face but told her to speak. "I dreamt about my parents," she answered. "My mother was asking me about my amulet. She was sad I didn't have it on." "Your parents? Perhaps your father is trying to convey a message to you." "That is what Chad said too, but then Elle got scared and I pushed them away. Chad said they might visit me again, but I need to have the amulet with me when that happens." "So, what you are saying now is that you need the amulet?" Claudia asked. Phoebe nodded. "Elle needed it for just one night." Claudia stood up and went to the place where she hid the amulet. She brought the box and brought out Phoebe's amulet. "I just hope you know what you are doing." Phoebe nodded. Claudia stretched the necklace to her. She took it and wore it around her neck. The moment the amulet touched her neck, the light from the amulet started glowing. "Looks like the amulet misses you." Phoebe smiled. She wrapped her palm around the amulet while absorbing the light. The amulet had its way of refreshing her. Claudia watched her with keen interest before returning the box back. "Do you know I almost left you on the street?" Phoebe looked at Claudia with a shock expression on her face. "You tried to kill Gwen and I wasn't sure was making the right decision, but now I know made the right choice keeping you." Phoebe got up to hug her. "Thank you for all you have done for me." Claudia shook his head. "This was what I bargained from when I saved your life." Phoebe pulled out of the hug and left the room. She told Chad and Gwen how it went, and they were happy it was successful. "Now, the only question is, will they visit you again?" Gwen asked. "They will. I can feel it." She showed them her glowing amulet. "Every time I touch it, I just feel so close to them than I have ever did before." "Well, say me hi to them for me, okay?" Phoebe and Chad looked at her. "What?" Gwen asked when she noticed the shocked expressions on their faces. The prince and Lucas were making plan on how to get Phoebe to trust them. I think we should visit their house more often, Lucas suggested, and you can be a little friendlier. The prince threw him a look that made Lucas shut up. First, what do you think she likes? The prince asked. I would have answered that if I was dating her. The prince folded his arnas to look at Lucas. Why are you looking at me like that? Is there something on my face? You just gave an excellent idea. Lucas was stunned. Wait, what did I say? You need to date her. What? If we can create a scene where we can ask her to date you for a few weeks. Like a dare, Lucas asked. Exactly. We will dare her to. Lucas shook his head. This will sound fishy. Why don't I dare her to date you? The prince was about to complain, but Lucas told him to listen. The prince kept quiet and listened to the plan. You guys hate each other, so it's going to help with the bonding, and when you are close to her, I'm sure she will be open to tell you anything. The prince thought about it. How sure are you the plan is going to work? I am 60% sure. That's above average. Well, since this is to get her and the amulets, I will do it. Just don't fall in love with her in the process. You know your parents won't allow. Say one more word and you will be the one to do this. Lucas pressed his lips together to stop himself from speaking. There is no way I will fall in love with her. That's what they all say butendu, falling in love. Lucas mumbled so that the prince won't hear him. The prince did, but chose to ignore him. Well, I think we should start heading over to their house now, the prince said. Not yet. Why? You need a makeover, something that will quickly make you catch her attention. Lucas teased. I see you want to spend the rest of your life in the dungeon. Okay. Chill, I was just joking. Well, I wasn't. They both went out the house and walked over to Phoebe's house. The prince was about to knock at the door, but Lucas stopped him. Wait, like you'd put me in dungeon. Are you scared? The prince asked with a smile. Don't worry, I will make sure you get the best bed and... The prince stopped talking when the door opened. Lucas turned to see Phoebe, Chad, and Gwen, looking all dressed up. Going somewhere? Lucas asked them. Phoebe turned around to hide her amulet under her dress, unknown to her that Lucas and the prince were aware. We are going out to spend some time together. Would you like to join us? Gwen, Chad and Phoebe chorused. What? Gwen asked. The more people there is, the more fun it will be. She clung to the arms of the priest and Lucas as she pulled them along. Sometimes I feel Gwen is on drugs, Chad said. Good thing this is coming from you, 'cause I was thinking the same thing, Phoebe said before they joyed to meet Gwen and the guys. Xenia was in the kitchen helping out Mrs. Gohan when Prince Zoe came to meet her. Mrs. Gohan greeted him, but he ignored her. He pulled Xenia out of the kitchen, took her to his room, and locked the door. Despite Xenia's attempt to break free, she couldn't. Your Highness, let me out. She tried to open the door, but she couldn't. I am not going to hurt you, the prince said while coming closer to her. Xenia moved away from him, but he kept on coming closer to her. She has never felt so scared in her life. Why the heck wouldn't he just let her be, she wondered. She tried to run away from him, but he grabbed and turned her to face him. Be still. I promise I won't hurt you. Your Highness, please let me go. She pleaded, but Zod refuses. He tried to kiss her, but she struggled to get out of his grip. He was holding her tight so that she could hardly move a muscle. Why can't you accept my love for you? I can't accept it because I don't love you. Let me go. Prince Zod was this close to kissing her when Xenia used the only method she could think of. She kicked him on his groin, making him leave her and hold his groin. She found the key and opened the door, but before she could run out, Zod grabbed her leg, making her fall down to the ground with her back. Zod quickly closed the door and got on top of her. He kissed her all over, and just then the door opened, revealing Chloe and Son of the maidens. The prince set her free, and Xenia rushed out of the room with ears in her eyes. Chloe quickly ran to meet Xenia and pulled her back. "I thought you were a lot better than me, but obviously you are nothing but a whore." Zenja didn't say a word to her. She was about to walk away when Chioe pulled her by the hair. Xenia grunted in pain. "Let go, Chloe." "And what will you do? Push me to a wall? Too bad there are no walls here," she said. Chloe continued to say lots of mean words to her, but Xenia couldn't say or do anything. She was too hurt to do anything. All she could do was weep. She has never felt this vulnerable. "You are nothing but a shameless pretender." Xenia got angry and pushed Chloe down with all her might. She got on top of her and slapped her face countless times. She continued until someone came to pull her off Chloe's body. "Xenia." She turned and saw it was Kim. The tears kept rolling down her cheeks. Before Kim could say anything, she broke free from his grip and ran to her room. Kim has never seen her this way ever since he knew her. He looked at Chloe, who was bleeding. Her face was bruised and blood was coming out of her nose. "Must you do this?" Kim asked her. "As long as she's here, I will never let her have peace." She stood up and left. Xenia was in the room alone. She knew other maidens might come to rest, but she locked the door and kept the key far away from her reach while she went to the bathroom. She took off her clothes, and she could see some marks the prince left on her when he handled her roughly. She turned on the shower and sat in the bathtub. The tears were rushing down profusely. If she knew she'd end up like this after Lucas and the prince left, she'd have found a way to make them stay. "Why is this happening to me?" she cried out. The knock on the continued, but Xenia ignored it. She stayed in the shower for a long time, and when she was done, she got dressed and opened the door. She saw Eve standing in front of her. "The queen would like to see you." Xenia shut the door and went to meet the queen. The queen was seated on her throne with her husband beside her as she listened to Chloe narrating the story of what happened. "All I did was ask her why she was having an affair with the prince, and that was all. Before I knew what was happening, she pushed me to the ground and started slapping, 'Your Majesty.'" The queen couldn't believe all she was hearing. "And where is Xenia?" she called out in anger. Xenia rushed to bow down to the queen. "I was having a shower, Your Majesty." "Is it true you had an affair with the prince?" she asked. Xenia couldn't believe her ears. She looked at Chloe, who was smirking at her, and she knew there was only one person that would fabricate such lies. "Is not true, Your Majesty. It was the prince that came at me like a devouring lion. I tried to get away from him, but he overpowered me. I didn't have an affair with him. I was in the kitchen helping Mrs. Gohan when the prince came and pulled me out and took me to his room. I pleaded with him to let me go, but he didn't. Liar! The prince can never force anyone into such an act. You are just doing it so you can be free, but—" "Silence," the queen ordered. "There's no need for this meeting." They all turned to see Prince Zod walking majestically into the palace. He even sat on the prince's throne with his legs crossed. "I didn't ask." The queen wanted to speak, but he signaled her to stop. He looked at Xenia, got down from the throne, and helped her up. "Xenia and I are getting married." "What?" Everyone was shocked at his words. "I will be taking her to my kingdom in the next few weeks for a proper coronation." Xenia left his grip and bowed before Her Majesty, pleading and begging that she doesn't allow this. "I don't want to be with him, Your Majesty. Please reconsider." "If I don't have her as my wife," he looked at the queen, "then your kingdom should be prepared to return everything Euphrates gave to it." Xenia knew the prince was saying this so that the queen would have no choice but to give her away. She continued to plead while rubbing the queen's feet with her tears. "I will leave you to decide." The prince left. The queen ordered everyone to leave. "I would like to have a word with Xenia alone." Everyone left but the queen, the king, and Xenia remained in the palace. Xenia was left alone with the king and queen. The queen walked up to her and helped her up. "Xenia," the queen called. "Yes, your majesty," she answered with a soft voice. Her mind was praying to the guardians to have mercy on her so she can find favor in the sight of the queen. "You know that you are my favorite person and I won't ever want to see you get hurt. You know that, right?" "Yes, your majesty. And that is why I am pleading to you not to let me marry the prince. I know, and that's the same reason want you to understand that right now my hands are tied. I can't do anything about the prince's request." Xenia was shocked. "But you have authority over him. Why don't you exercise that?" "I can't because he has an upper hand in this kingdom." "Is this because of what he did for us?" Kenia asked. "You are willing to trade me for some." "Xenia, you will be saving the kingdom if you do this. Think about it." "There is absolutely nothing to think about, your majesty. This is my life we are talking about here. My happiness, and you want me to throw that away for—" Xenia sobbed. This wasn't what she was expecting the queen to say. "If was your daughter, would you give me up to that monster?" she asked as tears rolled down her cheeks. "Answer nay, your majesty. Would you give her up to another man knowing fully well that she has a man that she loves dearly?" The queen was silent because she knew she wouldn't do such. "You wouldn't, right? So, why are you doing this to me?" "Because I am not your daughter." "Xenia," Her Majesty called, but no other. Words came. Xenia wiped her tears and gave a fake smile. "If it pleases Her Majesty, I would love to retire to my room now." She didn't wait for the queen to respond. She bowed her head and left. Walking down the alley of the palace, Xenia's tears kept rushing down her cheeks. Some of the maidens that saw her said mean words to her, but she didn't pay attention to them. She came out of the palace and was about to go in the direction of her room when Kim rushed to meet her. Xenia quickly wiped her tears and flashed him a fake smile. "That doesn't work on me, and you know that," Kim said, and Xenia showed him her sad face. "I heard what happened, and I want to say, I am sorry. I hate that bastard so much for laying his hands on you. I wish I was there, would have—" He showed a gesture of strangling something that put a smile on her face. "You wouldn't be able to do anything. If the queen can't do anything, you wouldn't be able to do anything either. Tell me the queen didn't permit for you to—" Xenia was silent, but the tears weren't. They kept rushing out profusely. "Oh, my guardian, I am so sorry, Xenia." She shrugged. "I guess this is what the guardian has for me, a life filled with misery." She wiped her tears. "I would love to go now." Kim nodded and made way for her to pass through. "Don't be hard on yourself," he yelled. Xenia turned back and waved at him with a slight smile across her lips. Kim was about to go to his duty post when he saw Prince Zod walking in the direction Xenia took. "Kuno, you are not." He ran to catch up with him. Phoebe was sitting on a swing while Chad was pushing her. Gwen was having a conversation with the prince and Lucas. Lucas was thinking of how he was going to get Phoebe to be alone with the prince without looking suspicious. The plan to play truth or dare couldn't work out, but there has to be able to bring these two stubborn heads together, he thought. Then an idea came into his head. "Gwen, can I see you for a bit?" He pulled Gwen up and took her somewhere private. The prince was shocked to see what had just happened. "What is Lucas planning that he left me out of it?" he thought. His eyes were wandering to where they were, trying to see if he could pick up a few words. Lucas saw that the prince was listening, so he stood in front of Gwen with his back facing the prince. That way he wouldn't be able to read their lips. "What do you want to say that we couldn't have said it over there?" "I was thinking of playing a little game. What do you think will happen if we leave Eric and Phoebe alone for a few minutes? Will they tear each other apart, or will they strike up a conversation?" Lucas asked. Gwen thought about it. "That's a good question, and I like the game. Should we try to find out? But first, we need to make a deal. A deal, Lucas nodded. Whosoever guesses right will request anything from the other person. Gwen thought about it. She was a fun person, so there was no way she was backing out from an exciting game like this. Okay, deal. Choose then. He folded her arms while watching her choose her answer. Gwen took a glance at the prince and Phoebe as she pictured them alone in one place. She imagined how their conversation will be, and she saw them fighting after. She shook her head and said, "They will pull each other hair put." Lucas laughed because he knew there was a tendency of that happening. "Well, they will strike up a conversation." "Let's see who wins then," Gwen said. They walked up to the prince and took a seat next to him, pretending like nothing happened. "Do you guys want to tell me why you left me all alone?" the prince asked, but no one said anything. "Chad," Gwen called before walking up to meet him. "Let's go and get some ice cream." "But who's going to push me?" Phoebe asked while pouting her lips. "Eric, can you come and push her while we get us some ice cream?" "Does she have any idea she's requesting something stupid from a prince?" Prince Edward told Lucas. "In her villa, you are the prince, but here, you are just an ordinary person, so play the role well." Lucas winked at him before joining to meet Gwen and Chad. "Have fun, you two," Gwen told them. Phoebe looked at the prince, but later looked away. She tried to push herself, but it wasn't as fun as having someone push her. She was sad that Gwen had to ruin the moment. She was about to get down from the swing when the prince came behind her and gave her a slight push. Phoebe was surprised that she had to turn to see who it was, and she was stunned to see the prince's handsome face staring at her. "Look away or I will stop." Phoebe smiled at him before looking away as he continued to push her. LT was after a while that the prince realized that Lucas set this up so that he could get closer to her. He smiled at the plan. "You got me on this one, Lucas," he thought as he watched Phoebe laugh and scream as he pushed her higher and higher. It brought a smile to his face too, and for one thing, he was glad this was going according to plan.
To be continued. Don't forget to follow us for more.